I was dead tired that Thursday night. I'd pulled a double at the auto body shop. 10 hours of busted bumpers, rusted frames, and one guy who damn near ran over his own dog. I just kicked my boots off and was about to faceplant into the couch when my phone buzzed. At first, it was just one message from Lisa. I'm at Bayview Medical, having a severe emotional breakdown. Then another. I can't do this anymore. You broke my spirit. And then 6 more all back to back. You refuse to commit. 3 years and still no ring? Do you even love me? I can't breathe. It's all too much. You pushed me into this. It hit like a brick to the gut. My name's Mike. I'm 32, live in Pasadena, Texas. I've been with Lisa for 3 years, living together for 1. I work with my hands. I'm not flashy. I told her from the start I wanted to save up before proposing. She didn't love that answer, but I thought she understood. Apparently not. I stared at those texts, heart pounding, hands shaking. I thought she was in real danger. Dropped my phone, yanked my boots back on, and tore out of the driveway like a bat out of hell. Bayview Medical was 15 minutes from our place. I parked half on the curb and ran inside like it was life or death. The nurse at the desk looked up calmly, like I was just some panicked boyfriend, and I guess I was. Lisa Donnelly, I said. She came in tonight. Said it was an emotional crisis or something. She checked the screen. Clicked. Paused. Sorry. There's no one by that name. I frowned. She texted me from here like 20 minutes ago. She said she was breaking down. She said she was here. No psych admits tonight. And we don't have a Lisa Donnelly anywhere in the system. I stepped back, pulled out my phone. Hit call. Straight to voicemail. Tried again. Same thing. I walked out to the parking lot in a daze, head spinning. This wasn't just weird. It didn't make sense. You don't fake a breakdown and say you're in the ER unless you're trying to manipulate someone. But why? I sat in my truck, engine still running, and opened our shared location app. Something we'd both agreed to months ago, just in case. Never really thought about it. Then I saw it, Lisa's little blue dot. 40 miles south. Seaside Horizon Beach Resort. Midnight. Thursday. Not a hospital in sight. I just stared at the screen, throat dry. My gut already knew what my brain wasn't ready to say out loud. She wasn't hurt. She was hiding. And not alone. I just sat there in my truck, staring at that little blue, glowing at Seaside Horizon Beach Resort, 40 miles away, right on the water, 5-star, spa packages, the whole damn thing. My first thought? Maybe she left the hospital and checked in to relax. People deal with breakdowns different ways, right? But then I looked at the time. Midnight, on a Thursday. Nah, something was off. That's when it clicked. Travis. Her 21-year-old intern from the hair salon. Always smiling too hard. Always hanging around a little longer than he needed to. And I remembered Lisa saying he'd taken the week off. My stomach twisted. I threw the truck in reverse and peeled out of the parking lot. Didn't go to the resort. I went home, stormed through the front door, straight to the bedroom. Her laptop was still on the nightstand. She always kept the lid shut but never logged out. I opened it up. Same wallpaper. Us at the rodeo last year, back when I thought we were solid. I clicked through her email. My hands were sweating, jaw tight. Took a minute, but I found it. Booking confirmation, Seaside Horizon Beach Resort. Guest name, Travis Cole. Room, 1 king bed. Extras. Spa package for 2, couples massage, champagne on arrival. I stared at the screen, waiting for my brain to tell me it was fake. A prank. A mistake. Didn't. Something inside me just snapped. I didn't yell. Didn't cry. Just got real cold. I walked into the kitchen and picked up my phone. Called the shop. Hey, it's Mike. Not gonna make it in tomorrow. Sick day. Then I drove to the 24-hour grocery store down the road. Bought roses, 2 dozen of the nicest they had. Not for her. I had something better in mind. Next, I called her parents. Darlene and Tom. Sweet people. Conservative. Church every Sunday types. They always loved me. Hey, it's Mike. I didn't want to worry y'all. But Lisa's going through something rough right now. I think she could use a little support. Maybe you two could come by tomorrow? Afternoon works best." Her mom's voice was full of concern. "Is she okay? What happened?" "Hard to explain over the phone," I said. "Let's just talk in person." I hung up before she could press more. After that, I cleaned the whole damn apartment. Kitchen, bathroom, living room, top to bottom. Even took the trash out. I don't know why. Maybe I just needed to do something with my hands. Next morning, I shaved, put on a fresh shirt, woke up early and made coffee. I couldn't sleep anyway. Every time I shut my eyes, I pictured Lisa laughing with that little idiot in some hot tub, drinking free champagne on my dime. By noon, the apartment looked perfect. Calm, clean, flowers in a vase on the counter, and me sitting there waiting for Saturday, waiting to go see her face when she realized I wasn't the idiot in this story. Because now I was playing her game better than she ever could. Saturday afternoon, I pulled into the lot at Seaside Horizon, roses on the passenger seat, heartbeat in my throat. I didn't get out right away. Just sat there for a second, watching couples in flip-flops and sun hats walk toward the lobby. I looked down at the flowers, bright red, fake as hell in that moment. But I brought them for a reason. I got out, grabbed the vase, walked through those glass doors like I belonged. The place smelled like coconut lotion and money. There was soft jazz playing. Nobody looked twice at me. The girl at the front desk smiled like I was just another guy coming in to surprise his sweetheart. "Can I help you, sir?" "Yeah," I said. "I'm surprising my girlfriend, Lisa Donnelly. She's checked in with Travis Cole. Any chance she's by the pool?" She didn't even blink. "Yes, they checked in Thursday night. Pool straight through the bar. Take a left by the cabanas." I nodded. "Thanks." Walked through the lobby like I wasn't about to snap. The hallway opened up to a patio and pool deck that looked straight out of a damn movie. Blue water, white lounge chairs, some guy playing guitar under a palm tree. And there she was, Lisa, lying on a lounger in a red bikini I'd never seen in my life, legs across Travis's lap, giggling like nothing in the world could touch her. Her sunglasses were up in her hair, her head tilted toward him like she didn't have a damn care. He was rubbing her thigh with one hand, drinking from a fruity glass with the other. I didn't move, just stood there behind one of the cabana curtains and pulled out my phone. Snapped 3 quick shots, one of them laughing, one of them kissing, one with her hand down the waistband of his swim trunks. Classy. I stood there for maybe 10 more seconds, letting it sink in. Then I turned around and walked out. No yelling, no dramatic scene, no broken glass. Just me, the roses, and a solid plan. I got back home before 3. Set the vase right in the middle of the kitchen island. Straightened it. Checked the time. 4:15. Knock on the door. Tom and Darlene stood there, looking worried but polite. "Hey," I said, stepping aside. "Thanks for coming." Darlene stepped in first, looking around. "She's not home." "She will be," I said, shutting the door behind them. "She just needed to clear her head a bit. Been going through a lot lately." Tom nodded real slow. "You mentioned something about a breakdown?" I kept my face flat. "Yeah, she texted me Thursday night. Said she was at Bayview Medical. I rushed there. She wasn't." Darlene's brows pulled together. "Wait, she wasn't at the hospital?" "Nope." I let that sit for a second. Then I gestured to the couch. "Y'all can have a seat. She'll be back soon. Thought we could talk first." They sat down, quiet, confused. No idea what was about to hit them. I made sure everything looked perfect. Apartment clean, coffee brewing, flowers bright red and perfectly placed. And then I sat across from them, calm, focused, because I wasn't just exposing a lie. I was flipping the whole damn script. And she had no clue what was waiting for her when she walked through that door. The front door clicked open around 6:30. Lisa walked in first, tan lines sharp against her skin, hair pulled into a lazy bun. She froze halfway through the doorway. Travis followed, sunglasses still on, shirt unbuttoned like he was on vacation. Then they saw her parents sitting on the couch. Lisa's face drained of color. What are you doing here? Darlene stood up fast. Mike called us. Said you were having a breakdown, honey. Lisa blinked. What? Her voice cracked. Why would you? I cut in, calm as ever. You texted me Thursday night saying you were in the hospital. Remember that? She stared at me, mouth open, like her brain was buffering. I never said I was. I held up my phone. You did. Every word's right here. Darlene turned toward her. Lisa, why would you say that? We've been worried sick. Lisa's breathing got shaky. She looked at me like she wanted to kill me and cry at the same time. Mike, can we talk outside? Sure, I said. But maybe we should let your folks hear this too. Seems like they've earned it. Travis shifted behind her. Maybe I should just head out. Tom stood up, blocking his path. You're not going anywhere, son. That man was calm, but his voice had weight. Lisa shot him a look. Dad, please. I reached into my back pocket, pulled out my phone again, and opened the photos. You want me to explain? Or do you want to? She froze when she saw the screen. One photo of her kissing Travis. Another with his hand up her thigh. Darlene gasped and put a hand over her mouth. Tom didn't move, just clenched his jaw so tight his face twitched. Lisa, I said, keeping my tone even. You weren't at Bayview. You were here. With him. While telling me you were breaking down because I wouldn't propose. She started crying, mascara already running down her cheeks. You don't understand, Mike. You're so unromantic. You never talk about feelings. You never make me feel wanted. I didn't blink. So you fixed that with Travis? She turned to her mom. It wasn't like that. He listens. He's kind. I made a mistake. Travis finally spoke, voice small. Look, this was supposed to be casual, okay? I didn't know she. Lisa whipped around. Shut up, Travis. Tom pointed at him. You knew damn well she had a boyfriend. Travis held up both hands. I swear. She told me they were done. Done? I said. Funny, she still lived here. Still had my truck key. Still used my Netflix. Lisa broke then. Loud sobs, shaking hands, pleading eyes bouncing between her parents and me. I didn't plan this, okay? I just needed to feel something again. Darlene was crying too now, quiet tears she tried to hide. Lisa, how could you lie like that? A hospital? My God. Tom didn't say a word for a long time. He just stared at her, then finally spoke. Voice low, disappointed. Go pack your things. You're coming home. Lisa's head snapped up. Dad, no, I can fix this. Mike, please, tell them we can fix this. I just shook my head. No, Lisa, you broke it. You don't get to rewrite what happened. Travis edged toward the door again. Look, I'm really sorry, man. Didn't mean to cause. Get out, I said, voice flat. He slipped past Tom and was gone before the door even clicked shut. Lisa turned back to me, tears streaking her face. You humiliated me. You set me up. Set you up, I said. You set yourself up. I just brought an audience. She screamed then, sharp, guttural, desperate, grabbed her purse and threw it against the wall. You're heartless. Tom stepped forward. Enough. Go get your stuff. She stomped down the hall, slamming the bedroom door so hard the picture frames rattled. 10 minutes later, she came out dragging 2 suitcases, eyes swollen and wild. She stopped in front of me, inches away, voice trembling. You'll regret this. I looked her dead in the eye. Already did. She shoved past me and stormed out. Darlene followed, crying quietly. Tom stayed behind a second, hand on the doorknob. She needs help, he said, voice low. You did the right thing. I just nodded. Then he left too. The door closed, and for the first time in 3 years, the apartment was silent. No crying, no arguing, no pretending, just peace, loud, echoing peace. After they left, I locked the door and stood there in the quiet. The air still smelled like her perfume, sweet, fake, heavy. I opened the windows just to breathe again. The apartment looked like a war zone disguised as normal. A pillow on the floor, mascara smeared on the wall by the light switch, one of her sandals under the table. I cleaned up just to have something to do, but the anger kept boiling underneath it all. By midnight, I was in the bedroom, staring at the half-empty closet. Her hangers were still there, the ones I built from scratch when we moved in. Something inside me said check the back. So I did. Behind an old gym bag, wedged between storage bins, was a small navy blue notebook. Her handwriting across the front, private, do not read. Yeah. That worked on me about as well as wet paint. I hesitated for maybe 3 seconds. Then I sat on the edge of the bed, flipped it open, and started reading. The first pages were harmless. Salon schedules, grocery lists, then the tone changed. Entry dated March 15th. Mike's being distant again. He says he's tired. Always tired. I can't live like this. Maybe if he thought he might lose me, he'd finally do something. I turned the page. Travis asked if I was happy. I said no. He looked at me like he wanted to fix it. It felt nice. Another page. If Mike won't propose, I'll make him want to. Maybe a scare. Maybe something dramatic. My stomach turned. Then came April 20th. Tried hinting about marriage again. He just laughed. I told him I'm 30, not 18. Maybe I need to force the issue somehow. Force. Her exact word. Next entry stopped me cold. Maybe I should just forget birth control. That would get things moving. I dropped the journal on the bed and stared at the wall for a long time. The anger wasn't hot anymore, it was cold, sharp, like metal. I picked the book back up, flipped further. By June, she was texting other guys. Not just Travis. 2 others, names circled with little notes beside them. Nice arms, sweet talker, possible backup. Backup. I read every line, jaw clenched so hard it hurt. She wrote about sending emotional bait, pretending to cry, threatening to leave, all just to see if I'd chase her. Then came the entries about Travis. He's obsessed with me. It's kind of exciting. Might use him to make Mike jealous. Thinking about a weekend getaway. If Mike finds out, maybe it'll finally break him open. She planned it. Every text, every lie, every tear. That fake breakdown message? She rehearsed it. Literally wrote in her journal. Hospital text plan if he still won't commit. I didn't know whether to laugh or throw the book across the room. Instead, I grabbed my phone, took pictures of every single page, front to back, close-ups of dates, words, the whole thing. Then I zipped the journal into a plastic bag and shoved it in the toolbox under my workbench. That book wasn't hers anymore. It was evidence. I sat back on the bed, the noise of the city bleeding in through the window, and realized there wasn't an ounce of love left in me for her. Not pity, not sadness, just zero respect. She turned our life into a game and I was done playing. Monday morning, I woke up to over 80 notifications. Group texts, DMs, screenshots, tags. My phone was going nuts. I didn't even get out of bed. Just unlocked my screen and saw it. Lisa had gone full social media victim mode. First story was a black screen with white text. Some wounds you can't see. Healing is messy. Then a picture of her hand. Middle finger wrapped in a fresh white bandage. Captioned, progress. Not perfection, broken heart. I squinted. Her hand looked fine Saturday night. She wasn't bleeding then. Hell, she was holding a margarita. I checked the doorbell cam archive. Scrolled through Sunday night. There it was. 10 p.m. She's standing on the porch with a little first aid kit, wrapping her own finger in front of the camera. Looked straight at the lens, adjusted the angle, and snapped the photo. I sat up, tossed the blanket off, and just shook my head. This wasn't sadness. This was strategy. Her next few stories had vague lines like, 3 years wasted on someone who made me feel unsafe. No one talks about emotional abuse from the quiet ones. She didn't use my name. Of course not. Cowards never do. But she didn't have to. Enough people knew who she meant. Some folks messaged me directly. WTF is Lisa talking about? Dude, did something happen? Is it true? and some didn't ask. They assumed. One guy I barely knew commented, "Not surprised. Mike always gave off that toxic vibe." That one made my blood boil. I didn't respond. Not yet. Then I saw a story repost from one of her friends, Kayla. She added a comment on top. "Takes courage to speak out. We believe you, girl." Believe what, exactly? By noon, I was done playing defense. I opened my Instagram, went to stories, and posted a side-by-side screenshot. On the left, her Thursday night message. "I'm at Bayview Medical. Having a severe emotional breakdown. Please come." On the right, her location ping from that same night. Seaside Horizon Beach Resort. No caption. No hashtags. Just cold, plain truth. That lit a fire. Some people DM'd me apologizing. Said they didn't know the full story. Some asked if I was okay. A few others doubled down. One message. "Bro, you didn't need to humiliate her. Let her heal." Right? Heal from what? Getting caught. Then her mom called. Crying. Not yelling. Crying. "Mike, please, I know you're angry," she said, voice shaking. "But Lisa's saying you're threatening to post private pictures. She's scared." "Private pictures?" I said. "What the hell is she talking about?" "She said you took photos of her and Travis at the resort. That you're using them to ruin her." I kept my tone flat. "Her daughter lied about a medical emergency to manipulate a proposal." I posted one screenshot showing she wasn't at the hospital. That's it. Silence. Then, "I'm sorry. I shouldn't have called. I'm just trying to keep her from spiraling. Maybe try keeping her off Instagram." I hung up. That night, I called a lawyer. Explained everything. Showed screenshots, the journal photos, the texts, the GPS proof. He didn't even blink. "You're fine. She's playing drama games. But from now on, don't respond to her or her friends. Let me handle it." I agreed, because she'd picked the wrong guy to smear, and I wasn't giving her another inch. Tuesday morning, I was under a lifted Silverado at the shop when my manager, Rick, tapped my boot. "Hey," he said, "HR needs you." I slid out on the creeper, covered in grease. "For what?" He didn't answer, just pointed toward the office. I wiped my hands and walked over. Janine from HR was on the phone, eyes on her screen. She held up a finger. Then she said, "Thanks for your concern, Ms. Donnelly. We'll look into it." She hung up, looked at me. "Lisa just called. Claimed you've been harassing her. Said you threatened her with private material and that she's fearing for her safety." I didn't flinch. "Want to see everything?" She nodded. So I pulled out my phone and showed her. GPS pings, texts, her fake hospital message, screenshot of my one Instagram story. I said, "No threats, no name calling, no contact since Saturday." Janine leaned back. "You haven't spoken to her at all?" "Nope. She's talking to herself on the internet." She tapped a few keys, sighed, then said, "You're good. Just keep everything documented." "Already am," I said, and walked out. Case closed. Lisa tried and failed. Wednesday, I thought maybe she'd give it a rest. But nope. Right before lunch, I got a text from Kayla, Lisa's best friend, the same one who reposted all that victim crap on Instagram. Her message was 2 lines. "Lisa's suicidal. She says it's your fault. You broke her." I just stared at it. Thought about responding with a long explanation. Thought about sending the screenshots again. Instead, I replied, "Check her journal. Page 52. No reply. Not even a bubble. That night, I pulled into my complex just after dark, and there was a familiar figure leaning on the hood of my truck. Tom, Lisa's dad. He wasn't angry, just tired. "Got a minute?" he asked. "Yeah." We sat on the edge of the truck bed. He didn't say anything at first, just stared out across the parking lot, chewing the inside of his cheek. Then, "She's spiraling, Mike. Her mom's beside herself." I nodded. "I know." He glanced at me. "I need to ask. All of it, the texts, the journal stuff. It's real. Every word. I've got photos of the pages. I didn't fake a thing." He didn't argue. just looked down at his boots. I want to believe she's just hurt, he said. But Darlene said she watched Lisa wrap her finger for that picture. Said she didn't even have a cut. I didn't say anything. Then he looked me dead in the eye. Was she always like this? No, I said. She used to be fun, confident. We used to laugh like idiots in gas stations at 2 in the morning. But the last year, it shifted. How? She got manipulative, controlling. Everything was a test. If I didn't say the right thing, she'd shut down, then cry, then blame me. Tom let out a long sigh. And you didn't cheat? Hit her? Threaten her? I shook my head. Never laid a hand on her. Never yelled. Didn't even curse at her. Closest I got was exposing the lies she told herself. He nodded. That's what I figured. I looked over. So why are you here? He hesitated. Honestly? To say sorry. And to tell you, you don't deserve what she's doing. Nobody does. I didn't expect that. Not from him. Appreciate it, I said. He stood up, slow like his back hurt. Take care of yourself. We're trying to get her into counseling. I didn't respond. He patted the side of the truck, then walked off into the night. I watched him disappear down the sidewalk. And for the first time since it all started, I realized something. This wasn't just blowing up her life. It was cracking her family, too. Friday afternoon, I was detailing a Dodge Charger in the shop lot when Travis showed up. I didn't even recognize him at first. Hoodie up, sunglasses on, walking like his ribs hurt. Mike, he said, pulling the shades off. His left eye was swollen purple, cut on the cheekbone. I straightened up. What the hell do you want? He kept a few feet of space between us. I'm not here to fight. Just giving you a heads up. I crossed my arms. Say it. He looked around like someone might be watching. Lisa's not doing well. Her dad, he punched me. Tuesday night. Didn't say a word. Just knocked me on my ass. I didn't blink. Sounds fair. He nodded, wincing. Yeah, I deserved it. There was a pause, and he shoved his hands in his hoodie. She said she's gonna make you pay. Said she's got docs. Still has a key and she's not done yet. I didn't respond. Just stared at him until he added. She's saying you locked her out of her own place. Talking about getting back what's hers. I stepped closer. Tell her to try it. He held up both hands. I'm not involved. I'm done. I didn't know how far she'd go. You knew enough to sleep in my bed. He looked down. Yeah, I'm sorry. I turned and walked away. Didn't need his apology. Needed him gone. That night, I drove straight to Home Depot. Picked up a smart lock, keypad, remote access, the whole deal. Ripped the old lock off by midnight and got the new one installed myself. No more spare keys. No more guessing. Saturday passed quiet. I worked a half day, grabbed dinner, watched a game. Felt like maybe, just maybe, things were cooling down. Then, just after 11, I got a motion alert on my phone. Front door. 2 figures. Hoodies up. I pulled up the feed. It was her. Lisa. And some guy I didn't recognize. Skinny, looked younger. He had a crowbar in one hand and was hunched over the doorknob, messing with it. Lisa stood behind him, arms crossed, looking up at the window like she was debating knocking. I hit record, took screenshots. Then I hit 911. Yeah, I've got 2 people attempting to break into my apartment, I told dispatch. One of them is my ex. I've got camera footage. Locks tampered. Police showed up in under 10 minutes. I stayed inside, lights off, watching from the hallway. When they got there, Lisa started crying immediately. Hands up, loud sobbing like she was on stage. He locked me out. I live here. I stepped outside when the second officer knocked. You're the tenant? Yeah, I said, holding up my phone. I got the texts where she said she moved back in with her parents. I've got the lease, my name only. She hasn't lived here for a week. I showed them the screenshots, the motion alert, the footage, even showed the lock receipt on my email. One cop talked to Lisa while the other took my statement. She has no legal residence here, the officer said, nodding. You've documented everything. Good move. Lisa was still crying behind him. This is insane. My clothes are still here. No, I said. You took them. Saturday. 2 suitcases. The other guy, the kid, tried to slink off, but the cops grabbed him too. You know him? The officer asked me. Never seen him before. Got it. They cuffed both of them. Lisa screamed, mascara already streaking. You're seriously doing this? After everything? You broke in, I said. That's on you. As they walked her to the cruiser, she kept yelling, kept twisting back toward me. I'll ruin you, Mike. You think this is over? I didn't answer, didn't flinch. I just watched the door close behind her. She spent the night in jail. I know because her mom called me the next morning. Voice low, shaky, like she was barely holding it together. I'm so sorry, Mike. I don't know who she is anymore. I didn't say much. Just hope she gets help. And hung up. Thought maybe that'd be the end of it. It wasn't. 3 days later, I got served. Lisa was suing me for eviction, defamation, and emotional damage. I actually laughed when I read the paperwork. My lawyer didn't. He said, narcissists don't quit. They escalate. Court date landed 2 weeks out. When the day came, I walked into the courtroom in a button-up and clean jeans. Sat down at the table next to my attorney and waited. Lisa walked in late, holding her mom's arm, limping like she was fresh off a car crash. She was wearing a damn neck brace. I leaned over to my lawyer. She's serious with that? He grinned. This'll be fun. She took the stand all dramatic. Claimed I'd physically removed her from our shared home and destroyed her belongings. Said I exploited her mental health online. My lawyer stood up calm as hell and asked, do you recognize this journal? He dropped copies of the pages onto the judge's bench. Highlighted sections. The entry about faking a hospital visit. The one about forgetting birth control. The note on using Travis to trigger a reaction. Then came the lease with only my name. The motion cam footage. The Instagram post side by side with her location. Her whole face changed. First fake sad, then stunned, then pissed. Like she didn't expect anyone to fight back. The judge didn't even let her lawyer finish. Case dismissed, he said flat. You're lucky he's not countersuing. She stood up too fast, winced like her fake neck pain just got worse, then stormed out of the courtroom. I followed behind, walking slow. Outside, she spun around on the sidewalk, eyes wild. I gave you 3 years, she yelled. I didn't flinch, just looked her dead in the eye and said, you gave him 2 months while we were still together. That shut her up. Her dad grabbed her arm. Let's go. They dragged her to the car while she kept muttering about justice, pain, betrayal. Like she was still playing the victim in her own little soap opera. I stood there until they drove off. That was 6 months ago. Haven't seen her since.